start with a building that has been at the center of massive protests, controversy, pain, and political propaganda for more than 4 years. The building, the former 3rd Precinct headquarters for Minneapolis Police. Today, a step forward or back, depending on where that building fits in your collective memory. The razor wire and barriers came down this morning that had been in place since protesters overtook the structure and the days following the murder of George Floyd by former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. Those barriers coming down begs the question of what is coming next for that space, a question city leaders have argued over for years. Should it be taken down? Should it be a center for racial healing? Should it be a democracy center or none of the above? Kent is here to talk about it and answer the questions. What's the path forward and what's the significance of taking down the barriers?
Well, Jana, simply put, that path isn't exactly clear still. There seems to be a consensus about rehabbing the building into some sort of community space. But additional plans for an early voting and democracy center for city election staff are still subject to change by the city council. In the meantime, though, today it is clear efforts to clean up the site are underway, and that wasn't lost on anyone.
If they're taking the fences down, it must mean something's happening.
For 4.5 years, people who live and work near the former 3rd Police Precinct have been waiting for anything to happen.
It's kind of an eyesore, so it'll be nice to see it cleaned up and something for the community, not just an empty building.
It's coming back, and that's such a good thing to see after, the devastation that was what happened.
Marnie Detmar says as the toll of that devastation in 2020 sat unchanged, it also left behind emotional scars.
It's a painful reminder to this community of what everybody went through.
I feel like it's more of a punishment if you think about it. They'll fix a pothole that's inconvenient to early commuters, but for our community, it's just it's been 4 years and it took so long.
As we brought our building up, we're like, what about you? Do it.
Janice Downing helped lead the transformation of the nearby Coliseum building, which nearly burned down in the riots, but recently reopened as a space for local businesses, nonprofits, and community members. She says they're anxious to hear more about what comes next door.
The city has done multiple listening sessions, and I'm like, how many times do you need to listen in order to get the message that people want you to make this a community-based event center that people can come and use?
Though that is part of the plan for the building, details about the so-called Democracy Center with community space have not been solidified.
We are a bit ways away from exactly what it's all going to look like.
In the meantime, neighbors just hope cleanup begins so healing here can match the rest of the neighborhood instead of being exploited by politicians.
We are having renters actually use the spaces, which is great. You wouldn't think that from the messages that you've been receiving, and so we're open for business.
I do not think that it should be used as a political backdrop. It has nothing to do with national politics. I have my thoughts about the city council and some of the city council members and the fact that they have not stepped up when it comes to the police force in general and the police precinct that still stands the way that it is.
I think it's about being a part of the solution. Everybody has something to say. Well, who's going to do something? Who's going to be a part of the change? Who's going to actually stick their neck out and be a part of it?